Uh, all right, welcome back to the Mind of Nobodies. Right now, we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything you already know, but we're gonna talk about goals, ambitions, like how long is too long to take care of your significant other? Should you take care of your significant other? Would you even jump in to like take the lead, being a girl or a guy? Whatever. We're gonna handle all that. But first, you're here with Elijah,
Devaney.
Fabi.
Priscila.
Dexter.
and we got wands on the ones and twos. You already know. He got his stunner shades on. I see him.
I see you, boy.
My so
Bad bright. Boy.
today we're gonna start off with this specific question. Should you feel bad for leaving your partner for not being ambitious? And we're gonna start with Dex.
Yeah. So for not being ambitious, I don't think you should feel bad, especially if you've had the conversations. Now, when the video that we watched, she was more, I felt, complaining about having a broke boyfriend versus having a boyfriend who didn't have any ambition. Now, if you're dating somebody whose financial status isn't equals to yours, and you probably knew that going into the relationship, right? To me, that's no reason to leave somebody, because you can always build them up. You can always provide them opportunities or chances to learn a new skill, to get a new job. Like, all that stuff is situational, right? But if they don't have the ambition to do none of that stuff, then at that
You're
point,
wasting your
yeah,
time.
at that point you're just wasting your time, because they don't have anything. They don't have anything in themselves to give to themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at that point, I definitely think you shouldn't feel bad about dating somebody who's not ambitious. But not dating someone who's not broke is different, right? Because again, he may be
Yeah.
broke, but if he has the ambition and the want to do more, he might just need the guidance or the that soft talk in his
Accountability.
ear, like, and what could be accountability on his end too, or it could be like you just need to speak life into him, like, hey, I want to get shit done, I want to do this, I want to do this, what do I need to do to help you to get to that point? You know what I mean? Because y'all a partnership. If you was broke, he should be doing the same thing to you. Like, what are your goals? What are what is your ambitions in life? And if you guys don't understand each other's ambitions, you can't get to that, you know what I mean, that end goal.
I want to ask a question to Dexter too.
Yeah. I'm
So
on the spot.
right, no. So because it's something that stays on my mind. Like, how long do you feel like if you're the person who's working all the time, who's taking care of the light bills, like if you're really that breadwinner,
Yeah.
and all you have is a girl who's like, you know what, I'm gonna spend things like these divas nowadays, these boss
Yeah.
females nowadays. That's like, oh no, I'm the boss bee. All I do is spend, and
They
what he
treat it
gets
like
when he
a
comes home, yeah,
For
what he
sure.
gets when he comes home is this. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
No, that
How do you
don't.
how do you feel about that mentality?
I don't like it. That don't fly with me. You either got to be productive in the household if you ain't outside working. So that means if I'm working and I'm paying the bills, I need to come home to a clean house. I need to come home to food. And I know it sounds very
Traditional.
machismo, that's what they say, but that's
It's
what.
not Mexican?
Well, I just, y'all will understand.
Say lingua
trying to
franca.
relate.
Oh, no.
This thing is loud. No. Anybody else feel like it's loud? No.
No,
But
it's good. You're good. You're good.
yeah, at that point, because I'm working to provide for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm at work all day long thinking I'm doing this for my girl. So if you at home all day just spending my money, you ain't thinking about me. You thinking about you too. So if you're helping build with the resources that I provide you, then we ain't got no problems. But if it's just like you're draining me, you're draining me, you're draining me, then at a certain point, I want to feel like what I'm doing is worth it. You know what I mean? For myself and not for somebody else. That's like a slave, right? You just
Right.
working all day for somebody else, and
Well,
I don't feel like anybody should be put in that kind of a situation.
well let me ask this question to the ladies. So, if the
Take the heat
man,
off.
the husband, your boyfriend, partner, whatever it is, he's the breadwinner and you're staying at home, what do you think is the approach or your stance on that? Should you just be enjoying the money, or what do you think you contribute to that relationship?
Oh, that's a good question.
Good question. I like this smile right here. We're gonna go with her. We're going with Priscilla.
Priscilla.
Yeah, Priscilla
Well,
got
it's
a smile.
because theories, debating subjects, mentality, all of this is nice, but the real life, it's a little bit different than that.
For sure.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So usually, it really depends of the background of the woman. It really depends of how she was raised, her mentality, her point of views, what she wants. So for a woman that she is independent, to be in that position, it is hard.
So she probably won't be happy.
Hold on.
It
You said really
depends,
would.
you know.
Yeah. And the only reason why I say hold on is because how can you be independent but still, because I know that there's a lot of his money's my money and my money's my money. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't all right. You can't take money from your parents and say I'm independent. Can't take money from the government and say I'm independent. You can't take money from anybody else and say I'm independent. I'm doing all this on my own. Now you can take loans from people and say, you know what? Not only am I gonna use this to get a one up, and then pay these people back, whoever I'm taking a loan from, and say I did this on my own. I was independent because you used your head, you used what you got to
The
get where you
resources.
needed to be. You know, yeah, you
The
used your
resources,
resources.
the steps.
And so,
Yeah.
and so you can't say you're an independent woman and still take money from the person you say, oh, this is my man, or this is my significant other, this is my woman. You know what I mean? Like you can't say you're independent when you're literally taking something that the only way you felt like you earned it is because you have a title with that person.
It
And
could
when I
be.
say you have a title with that person, I mean, oh, the title is I'm their child. The title is I'm their lover. The title is I'm family or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you're never giving that money back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
One thing I feel like feminism goes out the window when it comes to that particular part of relationships, right? Because I feel like I see a lot of women who say like, "Oh, I'm a feminist," but then you got to pay my bills still. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, so like, are you like when you're in a relationship with a man, do you expect him to pay for the rent?
For my rent? I mean, if we're living
If you're living together, he has to pay the rent, right?
No.
so can we ask
That's
that?
what she was gonna
What is
say.
a man's role to you, and what's a female's, or what is your role to you, and what is the
It really depends on how the relationship starts to unfolding.
Yeah.
I feel like you cannot expect a man to start doing everything for you from the moment zero, and that's what a lot of like people wrongly think nowadays.
Mhm.
They feel like, yeah, as soon as a man is gonna start showing interest on me, and I don't know where the things are going, and I don't know the quality of this man, he has to give me this and this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah, like
And
you want
he
to
has
talk to me,
know,
you got to
and
give me money to
yes,
talk
exactly.
to me. Yeah,
It's that kind of like exchange, that it's been done like nowadays. But I feel like if you're going towards like a, I don't know, like traditional or just in the traditional relationship, like boys, I feel like, I don't know, it's also the way I was raised and the things that I've seen. The man takes over of most of the things.
Sure.
Bills and
but
things
doesn't
like
that
and
counteract
that
feminism?
That,
hold on?
that doesn't really necessarily mean that I won't be apporting anything to the house. It's just like apporting in different ways. So I don't know. It's
And that's where I have the question. Where let's remove the traditional aspect of it, right? Because
Uh-huh.
it's usually,
Thank you.
if you want to say the old traditions, you want to say that man took care of everything, opened the door, like whatever you want to call it. Let's remove that for a second.
Okay.
And let's talk about how you would go about it. Is that something that you want in a partner? You want them to take care of the bills, and you do a certain thing to counteract that, or
Yeah.
should it be 50-50? Like, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, let's
Well,
personalize it.
I personally would like someone who I feel I can rely on if I need to, or someone I can just feel on my
Ooh.
softness, where I can just feel like,
Yeah.
okay, this person is like helping me to take some like charges out of my shoulder, but I'm also helping them
Yeah.
in some other way, like something that it's reciprocated.
Sure.
It can be emotional, it can be,
Lighter.
you know, it can be maybe, I don't know, like we can just do a partnership, you know. I have some business ideas, you have some business ideas, you know, let's bring it out together and let's do
Yeah.
something together, you know. Something like that is what I will like imagine of myself with someone, you know.
Mm.
Something you agree with, Priscilla?
Someone I can like keep building something, you know, like I bring all of this that it's mine and I bring all of this, you know, that it's me and you bring all of this and we can just like multiply out of it. That's what I, you know, like unify. you know,
So-
like
See-
like create something bigger.
See, because I've been in both situations, right? There was this time in my life where I got into some trouble. I had some warrants, so I couldn't get quality employment, right? So my lady at the time, she was like holding it down. You know what I'm saying? And I would do the things like I'm at home. I make sure I'm cooking dinner. You know, like making sure when she comes home she's clean. She don't have to do nothing like that. So I took over that role in a sense when I was home a lot, right? But then she gets to a point where, of course, she's like, I can't do this, da 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 da, da 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 da. But then I've also was in the other role where I've been with girls who don't have the financial means, and I'm the one footing the bill for it, and then I feel resentment and taken care of. That's why I feel honestly a 50-50 relationship is gonna be best for me unless I'm treated like a king.
But it's like you're
You
not
know?
putting on perspective that like honestly the system, like the economical system, it's built for men to still like making more money than
I don't
women.
That
think it-
part.
I don't think it is.
It is.
Women
It is.
women
Oh my
are.
God.
I feel like
There is
women
so
in
much
this
freedom.
world
It
are
is.
doing
It
way
is.
more
It's
than
way
what y'all giving them
different.
credit
It's-
for.
I'm telling you, like based on all of my
Man.
backgrounds and based on all of like where
Yeah.
I'm all coming from.
I know
it's-
all these
it's
bad
way
bitches out here getting it. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I mean, yeah, and
Uh,
it's like
Now.
it requires a lot of work, you know, a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So
of
a
work.
lot.
a comedian once said one time, dang, I have to remember exactly how he said it because it was good and it made a lot of sense. But
We'll never know.
yeah, and I think I
I
sent
guess
it to
we'll
you.
never know.
He said he picked some person out and he said, would you give that person head for $1 million? And the ladies was like, no, I'm not gonna sell myself for $1 million, right?
Mhm.
And then he asked another lady, would you give this person head for $1 million? She said no. Next person said no, right? So he asked the dude, he's like, he's like, for 10 grand, would you
He
would you
lowered.
eat the lady out from the Titanic for 10 grand? How many guys would do that? And every guy pretty much raised his hand. And he's like, see, we'll take the jobs that nobody want and get paid, and that's why we keep we keep it going. We take the hard
Yeah.
jobs and we're just like, you know what? It's money. We gotta get the job done, so we're gonna get the job
No,
done.
and I've seen something similar where they ask ladies, would you work in the sewer or like as a garbage man for $100,000 a year, or would you rather be in a position of status but not get no money?
Right.
And women would, and at least through their experiment, women would prefer to have the status with no money because then they can maybe leverage it as like oh, I'm someone important. I can use that as other means to get money, right?
That is not
And
even
these-
like well
but-
sustained.
All right.
It's
So
like,
so
it's
mine
not
was
even
joking.
well sustained.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
mine
like
was
a
joking,
dumbass
so-
example.
No, slow. It is a joke to an extent. Like,
Uh-huh.
what would you rather do if someone's gonna offer you two different jobs? One is a modeling position, and you make $100 a week, right? Because you're a starting model, and you may someday come up, and you may not. But then there's a job that makes 99.
Makes $1,000 a week
Yeah.
cleaning toilets.
Dude, do you know
You
my
know?
do you know where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah, she
Do
said.
you know what I am, right? I'm a Mexican.
She said,
I'm a Mexican, dude.
We take
I
all
will
the
do
jobs.
it. I will
Absolutely.
take any of the jobs. I came here to work hard, and I keep working.
But
So
think-
I
And
feel like
working.
it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply to every single case.
For sure, yeah,
Exactly.
no, for sure.
The
You know,
reality is
but-
different.
Yeah, it's different because if you put on perspective an American woman who has been raised here, who has all of the benefits, who has, it's way different, and they have the whole perspective that it's fucking the world around, because they're putting on perspective like, oh, I want to be this type of wife, and I want this, and I want that, and at the end, like the woman who's like hardworking woman is suffering the consequences of dealing with like men who think we're all the same, that we all
Right.
think that we're gold diggers,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like that. Just because I want to better my life, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a gold digger. I still working hard by myself, you know, and for myself. I'm not here just putting my pretty or half pretty face, you know, and saying like, oh, who's gonna give me all the money here? I want, you know, I have titties, you know, like it's not like that, you know.
I was about to
keep
say,
working on myself,
you do show up
and I
more than
want,
true.
and I want a man who's gonna be like ambitious as me, you know, who wants
Yeah.
to keep growing, you know. That's a difference.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think
and that's also why I feel 50-50 is the best policy across the board, because it gives you it allows you to be able to contribute and still grow on the side.
I feel like
It
more
gives
than
me the
50,
opportunity to
50.
That's
Okay,
what
so
I'm
here's the
saying. That's what I was
perspective.
thinking.
Beautiful to
Here's the
hear.
perspective. It's not like 50-50.
beautiful
It's
to
a
hear.
portion.
Yeah, it's beautiful to hear. Yeah.
Hold on. Because I hate when people say 50-50. I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
It's not
explain.
50-50 because if you think about like a 50-50, it's because they both are gonna have the same income and they might not
Right.
in most of the cases. So you need
Sure,
to be
yeah.
contributing
agree.
on the way that you can like even like the part of the partnership that a lot of people doesn't understand is that you are gonna be contributing on a way that it's not gonna be affecting your personal finances. You know,
Yeah,
that you're not gonna
for
be
sure.
struggling. You know, that's why
Yeah,
it's not like a 50-50. It's a contribution.
definitely
I'm
Well,
coming
based
up.
on your
I'm
income.
coming from
I
a place of us being equal.
No, so check this out.
Right,
So,
I'm not coming from me being up here and you like me being equal with you.
Yeah, but
It's-
if
but
you're
it's
okay,
50-50,
but for example,
right? But
let's
if I
say-
make more than
okay,
you, I wouldn't
okay, let's
expect
say-
you to contribute what I contribute because obviously
exactly,
I have more, right?
exactly. It's about
But-
contributions.
But I feel like
But we
what-
cannot set it up. We
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
fix it as a 50-50.
and when I say 50-50 again, I don't mean 50-50. I mean
Equality.
equality. Exactly.
All right, so let me say it like
So,
this though.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no.
Okay. So, like, the reason why I hate 50-50 is because it makes rooms for what's your job, what's my job. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Even when it's like, oh, equality, what's your job, what's my job? If each person's putting in 100%, it gives them room for no negatives.
Right.
So if I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get out there and I don't know what my partner's doing, but I know that she's doing her best.
Right.
So
Yeah.
while I'm like, hey,
Ooh.
let me try to make sure that these bills are gonna get paid, food's gonna be on the table.
Wow.
If we got kids, the kids is taken care of.
Mhm.
I'm doing my job when I get home, and my woman is like, I'm doing the exact same thing. It's no 50-50. If it's like, oh, babe's sleep right now, I wake up, the trash is already taken out.
Yeah.
It's no 50-50. It's no you have a role, I have
For
a
sure.
role. It's no you have a job, I
Again,
have.
yeah, it's more equality though, but we're all both equal in what we're putting into the relationship.
But that
Right.
doesn't mean finances. Or it doesn't mean finances.
It means everything.
I think across
Everything.
the, I think across the board
It does-
because again, she might not be able to do half the rent, right? But if she could give me 20% of the rent and then pick it up in other areas, you know what I mean? That you know what I'm saying? That's 50%. You know, it's not 50% of the rent, but it's 50% of what I'm like. We're both putting in
like she's really
together.
taking care
You know
of.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm
She's holding
saying?
Her own, you're holding
I
your
know
own.
it doesn't sound right when I say 50-50. Yeah, I know everyone's
Yeah, I
thinking
hate
like.
that. I hate
I
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
hate
yeah.
50-50.
Yeah,
I hate it.
and it's,
Yeah.
and
From
it's
the
only
first
not
because,
date,
reality.
someone, a
It's
man
only because-
comes with
It's
the
not
50-50 on the
real.
first date. I'm like, nah.
Uh-uh. Like I said, it's beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
All of this is so beautiful. The reality.
So
It's
what's the reality?
the reality catches you as a surprise. Sometimes you are the one in charge. The other time you are the one that is dependent of the person. The other time you're single, you're free, you do whatever. And the other time you're doing both tasks. So it really depends of what you accept in your life.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
accept a lot of things in your life and then you can say,
Yeah.
from here, no. And then you put your boundary.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. All of this, I love to hear all of this. but the reality it's so much more details that we
For sure.
it's okay, so you just need to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that-
control your own emotions, because the reality it comes as a surprise sometimes.
For
and,
sure.
and I love how you said that life comes at you as a surprise.
Yeah.
What you want is to have a partner who, when that surprise comes, they're there to, tackle that surprise with you.
Love
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what comes, I'm guessing, to the whole 50-50 term that it seems that
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like, right?
Equal term.
Which is
Let's
cool
say
because
equal
that's how
term.
you was also raised. Like we're not belittling 50-50 because a lot of people are raised to think that I put in, you put in, and we work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also see when you say equality that when you're saying that if she can only put in 20% or if he can only put in 20%, then you may have to take that extra 80. That's what I like about saying it's 100%. If I'm doing my 100%, and when it comes to utilities or finances, then I'm
So we
only
saying the
able
same
to do,
thing, just
yeah, we're saying the
different.
same thing, just
different.
different.
Angles.
Yeah, yeah.
And, right. We just don't like the
Different
wording. You know
perspectives.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel
We're
you.
arguing about the message, but we're giving the same message. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I definitely got what you were saying. It's just like wanted to relay it in different tones.
Sure. What are you thinking over there, Devaney?
Yeah, Devaney, giving
Yeah,
me
Devaney,
quiet.
you the one that got us in this argument.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah, this-
introduced us and then she was
Facts.
just like,
I just wanted to see you guys argue.
She's putting in her part.
She over here instigating.
She's putting in her 100%.
Data.
She's like, I'm gonna just put in 10% and let the devil work.
So do you
Oh, God.
do you feel like, because you're the one who put it out there, do you feel like you've taken care of a dude before with no ambition, or that you maybe?
Kind of. I've definitely. I feel like I've dated a lot of broke people.
Broke or and what? How do you say? How
With
do you
that
say
broke
that?
mindset.
Okay,
of,
broke
like,
mindset. Okay,
I'm not really like I'm good where I'm at, and I'm not gonna go further.
so no ambition,
no ambition.
ambitionless.
And
Deep
I've
kind of
always
figure.
given too much to try to like push them to get out there, and I end up just like letting myself go, and I'm like, but I've learned from that. So
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I definitely like want someone that's at least ambitious, because if they're not, then I don't want to.
How does that
Yeah.
look, though?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what does ambitious look
How
like
does
to you?
an ambition man look to you?
Someone that has a goal, like any goal.
I mean, I can have a goal to
party on Friday.
Just wake
Like,
up and
alright.
walk around, chill, play video games.
facts. Those are goals.
But
Those
you're
are
meaning like,
ambition.
but you're meaning like a
And
goal
you
to
get paid
better
for it
himself.
nowadays.
Like a
If you're a
goal to
streamer.
like someone with a growth mindset.
There you go.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how do we identify? Like, how do you see that?
Someone that wants to better themselves.
So,
like,
but what does a
that-
guy have to do to show you that he is that?
What do you have
Like, what
to
signs
see?
do you look for
Yeah.
to see, like, oh, this dude, you know what I mean? This is what I want.
Do you know what the signs are? Because all right. So
Exactly.
my question earlier was when you said you attract a lot of that because maybe it's just you. You know what I mean?
No,
like-
yeah. Like
Because-
it definitely was also me.
Right. Because
Um,
go ahead.
It's
No,
Black
go
History
ahead.
Month, bro. You
Oh,
can't
no.
be out here doing that.
When I don't give a shit. Anyway, so no, because when I was younger, I told you that like you already know.
Yeah.
I didn't have like a place to stay or whatever.
Yeah.
And the girls, they would be like, "Oh, you can stay with me," but at the same time, they would give me that "don't leave the house" energy. Stay in the house.
He
Stay
was-
with me. Don't go with
He
nobody
was a
else.
homosexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Basically.
So no, but they would give me that energy, and I was like, nah, I want to get
That's
my
how
own.
he puts 50-50 in that
Oh, there you go. I told you the reality is
all the
different.
way below the waist. He's like, that my 50-50. I ain't doing no more.
Nah, so that
Oh, he
wasn't me.
puts
That
up
was never my
100%, that
mentality.
makes sense.
You right.
So yeah, so
Wasn't
that was
me.
never my mentality to just
Wasn't me.
let a girl take care of me or stay in the house with her. But my friends would come over and they'd be like, "Man, you're not trying to stay here. She's trying to take care of you." And as I grew up, And this was when I wasn't even 18 yet, you know what I mean? But as I grew up, my friends, they started trying to find girls that would take care of them, that would have that mentality to be like, oh, just stay in the house, don't go anywhere, don't do anything. And she'd find herself complaining about her dude not having that mentality. But I'm like, your energy says don't leave out the house, don't leave me. You don't ever want to be alone, and you'll take care of him because you keep buying him gifts,
For sure.
you keep taking care of
Well-
his phone bills. You keep taking him on trips with your family,
Okay.
but when it comes to
I
him
don't
getting a
think
job,
that's-
you don't want him to have
Yeah.
that long of a
I don't think,
job.
and I don't think a lot of people understand what that means to be with somebody who has ambitions, because somebody who has ambitions aren't home.
right.
They're out.
And
they're
that's the
on.
thing,
They're,
so-
they're constantly doing things. They're constantly mingling, and for especially like an insecure person, that's gonna be like a red flag, right? Like, why are you never home? We never do this. We never do that. But it's like, I'm out here trying to get it. You know what I
For
mean?
someone
That's
that's
why I
not
asked the question.
ambitious.
So
Yeah.
do you,
Because
do
if
you-
you
someone,
if
yeah.
you yourself is not ambitious, you're gonna be complaining that they're always out and about
Exactly.
doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone that's always working on themselves and always trying to better themselves, that's someone that's ambitious.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where a lot of women, they don't understand that they need to also leave their men to be out and do things, you know, because a lot of women, they start like their relationship thinking that they how can I explain it, that they will better, you know,
Make
like
it
their
better, yeah.
make the partners better, but they still want to have them here, you know, like
Yeah.
they don't want to let them like go and like try and work and things like that, and they just like they're just doing it to themselves, you know, because
Yeah.
at the end they feel like, oh, this man, like I thought he was gonna be different, or you know, like they put a bunch of expectations,
another thing that you brought up,
Um,
I would say.
a lot of expectations on the man, but at the end they also caused all of that,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
themselves.
real quick, I think one thing is like when you get into a relationship, you're usually like engulfed in that person, right? Because when you find somebody who you meet, like you want to be around that person, right?
Yeah,
But then it's like as you guys grow, you have to have time separate. You have to have time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you got a little love struck for a minute. You wanted to be with this person, so maybe that was your ambition at that time, was to be with this person. But you still have to be ambitious in other ways, and be able to be like, oh, babe, I can't see you. I'm working. You know. And I think that's hard, especially when you first start dating and start that split, because at the first you're giving her all that energy. You know what I mean? Like that. Oh, I'm here. What are you trying to do? Da 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 da. And then it's like once you feel like you have somebody, then you're like, oh, well, I got to get back to me. And then that person feels like, oh, you're separated from me.
Well,
you
I
know?
A
feel
lot
that's.
of- Sorry, go ahead.
No,
No,
Jojo,
go ahead. Oh, I feel like a lot of couples do that when they start to get in a relationship. They stop doing individual things for themselves. And then when they break up, they start working on each other. And it's like, why couldn't you just do that in the
In the
relationship?
relationship, yeah.
But
And
you
that's
don't
what I
have-
was thinking, because that sounded like a pattern,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so
Same
we
pattern, I
get
guess.
together, we spend a lot of time together, and then like that phase, the honeymoon phase, and la 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 la
Yeah.
la la la.
And I feel like the honeymoon phase also ends quickly because you're always together.
yeah, definitely.
Well, and
Yeah.
she's
Tired of each other.
Are you saying that because it sounds familiar or what? You know?
Nice. It depends.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
remember, and I know we didn't record this last time, but this is what I was talking about. How you mentioned boundaries. One of the things that we want to do right from day one is create those boundaries.
Yep.
I like how
With love.
I mentioned this. Yeah. Well, and I like how Stadia Khan uses the term boundaries. Boundaries is teaching someone how to love you.
Oh.
And so if we start that from day one, you know, we're already teaching that person. You're not conditioning or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're already letting them know, hey, I like this. This means if I like this, when you love me, you're going to learn the things that I like. And vice versa, right? They're going to tell me about theirs, and I'm going to take that and say, okay, I'll take it in. But
What was you
that's
gonna
what I like about that term.
There is a
Oh, so
detail.
earlier, it was just gonna take it back to the fact that if he has ambitions or not. Because another thing is, what if I take care of him? That someone said in the chat that what if I take care of him and then, when he gets to where he needs to go, he just up and leaves you. You know what I mean? Which at the same
Yeah.
time, I feel like that's the fear of you need to stay at home because I don't want you to really leave me. And while
Exactly.
you're keeping him at home, what you're really doing is you're complaining about him not having ambition, but he really does have ambition. But the simple fact that he wants to bring it out, but every time
You shut it down
you
or
shut it
something.
down and not really
Yeah.
acknowledge or know that you've been shutting it down. And so when he's like, "Listen, it's a good chance for me. I'm gonna take you with me." You're really not ready for that. You've really been
Yeah, because
trying to keep him in the house.
from that video, that's what I got from her. She was like, "I'm dating a broke man." She's like, "But then I'm scared that if he does get there, he's gonna leave me." So my question was, is she subconsciously doing things
Ooh.
to keep him from growing? Because even though she's complaining, so people complaining and just stay in that same spot, right? They'll complain like, "Oh, you broke," da da da, but I'm still staying, right? So she's subconsciously doing things to keep him in that place, so she can stay in that comfort zone of complaining, or you know what I mean, just so she could feel
Oh, yeah,
heard or
so
something
she
like that.
feel better about herself or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it really depends on where are the connections are coming from.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
if they're coming out of ego, that's gonna happen. You know, because
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
gonna be like a battle of power. You know, and each person is
Mm.
gonna be doing something
Like
to
that.
not let the other person grow. You know, and the
Mhm.
other person is gonna be doing something. You know, but if
Yeah.
that's why it's so difficult nowadays with the
Exhausting.
dating with the
Well,
dating
those are
pool
things that-
because
Those are things that you want to identify to kind of
yes,
walk away
exactly.
from them, right?
Yes, exactly. So those are the first signs that you will need to start looking when you are even within yourself. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like a really conscious um, journey. As soon as you realize that you like someone, you know,
Yeah.
is this person attractive to you because it is like out of trauma, or because it is like it's waking up like some unconscious fears, or if it's you
Yeah.
need to keep like a very high consciousness of where the connection is coming from. And if it's something that it's not aligning with yourself, with your core values, like
Yeah.
saying, oh, I feel
Your
like
essence.
I'm yes, I'm going like in a very selfish way with this person. It's because it might not be the right connection for you, or it
Yeah.
might be the right connection for you because you need to work on those things.
Yeah.
You need to like keep yourself very aware of where you're coming
Sure.
from with all of the actions that you take and the decisions, and how the other person also like make the
Engage.
relation to you.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
and I mentioned this before. Again, Sadia Khan is a great person that I like to hear. I've talked about the book. What's it called? I can't remember, but both of them talk about before you get into a relationship, before you have kids, what you want to do is heal yourself.
Yeah.
Or, recognize your traumas so you can work on your traumas. That's the ideal. To your point, it sounds beautiful. And this comes from experts, this comes from doctors, therapists, who say that should be the ideal approach. Where, I'm at an age where I want to start dating. I need to look at my traumas, work on those so I don't hurt the partner that I'm with, or I recognize things that I
pattern.
want in a partner, or
Sure.
a partner, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone that is going to be there for you, right, for
Yeah.
those surprises in life.
Yeah, exactly.
And we
So-
are constantly changing. That's the most
Yeah. that-
interesting above all. We
Right.
are constantly changing.
I think it's the most difficult thing too, as well, because from one, even maybe from one relationship to another, you may have different boundaries for each person.
Yeah.
So it may be, it's like you always have to reevaluate yourself,
Yeah.
quiz yourself on what do I want, like what is it that I want, because it might change, you know what I mean? With one person, you might just want, like a fun-filled relationship. With another person, it might be like, I want the rest of my life with you, so it's just different,
Yeah.
and all that in that
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah,
Intention.
and yeah, I feel like also jumping to the to the relationship, or I feel like you gotta be very clear with your expectations within yourself, about what you can do in the relationship, but also be really realistic about the expectations that you set up the other person, you know,
Yeah.
because that can bring you some surprises
For sure.
along the way, you know. And you're like, oh, how is this person not the person that I was expecting them to be, you know? Maybe they weren't on the first place, and you were just like, I don't know, in the Lululand, like thinking that they were gonna be something.
It's all about Lululand. That's what I
Lulu.
said.
I got a question for the ladies about
For the ladies.
Alicia Keys yesterday. So
All right, Juan. Okay.
Alicia, so from what I know about Alicia Keys is her and Swiss Beats got
Swizz
together,
Beatz?
but Swiss Beats was with his wife at the time when her and Alicia Keys started talking. Now, Alicia Keys, and I'm not trying to like call Alicia Keys out like that or make it seem
Unless you're gonna come on the podcast.
Oh my God.
And then we
Hey.
calling you out.
like when it's all said and done, like she took a guy from his wife, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now she's up on stage and she's full on being held by Usher.
That's an
Sure.
act.
Sure.
Come on.
Well,
Exactly.
It's an act.
yeah.
It's an
Well,
act.
well, you see,
Shut up! I
Swiss-
said women. No, I'm just playing.
But you did see that Swiss Beats
That's
responded
Alicia
to
Keys
that,
you're
right?
talking about. That's why.
Wait, say that again.
So Swiss Beats did respond to that.
What did he
Right,
say?
he did.
He said there ain't no hating over there on our side. He said we ain't hating on nothing. He's like they killed it. It was a great halftime. Like he was just showing support. So like, he understands the business that they're in is selling a pill, right?
And they definitely sold that appeal.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and it's like it's like one of the greatest love songs there is. You know what I mean? My boo, come on now. When you hear that, you like, come here, girl. Let me just hold you.
Wait, but Alicia Keys didn't originally sing that, did she?
Yes, it was.
Wasn't
It was
Oh,
Usher
wow.
and
The
her.
first song,
Yeah.
the first song was Stop It. Boom,
Yeah, she came out with that
Then
one.
my boo. Sorry, my bad.
Hey,
I
it's,
love Alicia
it's,
Keys.
yeah, no, sing. You want to sing it for us one time, real quick?
Sing it.
I
Let it
know-
out. Let it out.
I love me some
Let it
Alicia
out.
Keys.
Oh, yeah, that's so.
So what was the question again? Sorry.
How okay is okay when it comes to like another man grabbing you just because it's your
Look,
profession?
Listen, it happens in the world dance. Seriously,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
In
Like,
Brazil, they're really touchy-feely and
yeah,
kissy, right?
yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That there's different
What's the
realities and
infidelity
different
rate like
cultures.
in Brazil? That's what I
Like we
wanna
love
know.
to hug. Like we love to give the hands. You know, it's
Kiss.
normal to kiss. Yeah. So it's like, it's what? You
To
know?
kiss another man is normal. Yeah?
So,
No,
Hold
she said
on.
it's normal to kiss.
this guy.
Like who are you
Sorry.
talking about? But I thought we were talking about like another man.
No. You're.
Dexter
Yeah,
is
okay,
somewhere else.
yeah.
Yeah, you're in
Another
another
man.
Let me
universe.
ask
No.
you. So let me ask you.
Like if you're in a relationship is what you asked her, right? What close?
What? No,
What did you ask
if
her?
a girl, what? I don't know anyway.
Yeah.
You just be lost for now.
You asked what close. You said how close is too close if you're in a relationship to be approached by another man is what you said, right?
No.
No, he was just asking like how okay it is for us as a woman to be held by another man.
But
You
yeah,
know,
but
like
he's
in
coming
a-
from the aspect of Alicia Keys being a married woman.
Oh, if you're a married
Were you
woman,
not?
But this is
That's what it sounded like to me because he brought up her husband.
Dex,
It's just because he brought up Brazil, and then probably in your mentality, you thought that it was all carnival all the time, maybe.
Hey, hey. it's
Because
not
that's carnival.
It's not a bad idea.
In Carnival, they be doing swinger stuff.
But this is what I mean.
But maybe that was his.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Cause then he's like, y'all be kissing and hugging. I'm like, why y'all?
Well,
in
Yeah,
a
he was lost in that paradise. No, come back.
I'm back.
No. So like in Brazil, which is her culture, right?
Mhm.
They're really affectionate, and so
Yeah, that's the point.
right, they're really affectionate, and
Yeah.
so I'm guessing there's married women that sometimes are affectionate toward other men who are not their husband. Probably not. I mean, I don't know.
See,
what
yeah,
the
he
line
was
is.
That's
there.
a question.
See, he
That's a
was
question.
there. So
That's
that's
not
like, cause then he was like hugging and kissing, and I was like, that's not
Hugging and
affection.
kissing.
you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it is
That's a-
kind of, how can I say, in the gatherings, like familiar or friends, whatever.
Party.
A party, yeah.
Churrasco.
Churrasco. Eh, and it's
and everybody's
normal.
just doing freaky stuff with everybody.
Not freaky,
Okay.
but we are very affectionate. So, like, we will give you the hand. We will hug you. We will kiss you. Like, mwah, mwah. We
Okay,
are
yeah.
affected like that, but it's respect, it's love.
Mm.
Here, that's why in the first years, I'm already used to now, but the first years I was like, because I was really expecting a hug, and then everybody was just like,
No, not like
no. And I was like, oh, okay. Nice.
Well, and I think Fabi sent me a video about that, right? Where the cultural differences when it comes to dating, right?
Oh.
Because Hispanic
Yeah.
people are,
Hey, I got it.
most of them are very affectionate.
I definitely got a question for you because, all right, so, like, one of my homeboys, he gave me a kiss on the cheek, right?
Uh-huh.
Because he's from Brazil, too.
Uh-huh.
I was like, nah, we don't do that down there. And,
He said, look,
like,
You though.
like, he's like, oh, man, bro. Mwah, mwah." And I'm
But
like,
it was
oh,
on the
yeah,
cheek,
nah,
right?
this ain't the mafia, yeah.
The mafia.
Like
no
yeah.
mafioso.
Lucky
And he's
Gambino.
like- and he's talking to me, he's like, ah, yeah, so in Brazil, like a brother, when you feel like a brother,
Yeah.
then you do. It's simple,
Yeah.
it's easy. It's
Yeah.
okay. And I'm like, I get you, you know what I'm saying? But
When they try to talk
my
to you, it's okay.
community,
No, it's
yeah,
okay. You're like,
you,
no.
you do the slightest thing and then
Yeah.
you red flag for life, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh,
That happens
no.
in Europe too, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they kiss
yeah.
each other
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
in the mouth if
On the
they're
butthole.
drunk.
No, I
Like
don't
in
know about
Belgium
that.
and stuff, they just kiss each other on the mouth, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
It can happen, and they're like, "I love you, bro."
It happens with us girls.
Yeah.
That
I
I'm
want-
Ah.
Yes, yes, I do see the contradiction there. I do see the contradiction.
No, no. It's and I think it's universal and outside the churches that if two girls kiss, we accept it as we're gonna try to see what happens
Playfulness.
next.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do
I
it.
feel like, yeah. And it is messed up to say because, like, when two women kiss, it is more like I do take it more as a playful nature. Well, no, not even like a playful, friendly nature, right? But if a dude try to kiss me, I'm not taking it that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, you need to back up. you need to back up.
Wow.
Kiss the ring, kiss the pinky ring. There you
It's
go.
funny 'cause, my son, he's learning Spanish. So
Okay.
he's using Duolingo. And there was a portion in the training where they talk about kiss. And it's teaching them how in different cultures they do the kisses, right? So like now he's all like, Dad, give me a kiss, but like in Spain, oh, he means the two keys on the side because he
Yeah.
understood that, and it's that thing talks about just how affectionate or how they express hello, because a lot of times it comes
Yeah.
after a hello, and
Yeah.
then some other times, you know, it's because they really like you and they'll give you a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Or it's like
I
don't
kiss
know,
my
with-
son on the
yeah,
cheek, you know what I
exactly.
mean?
In
That's
my
about-
family, yeah, my dad used to give a kiss on the cheek
Yeah.
to my brother, and even like the uncles and stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
oh, kiss each other, like hey, what's up? You know, I don't
That's
know.
right.
It's,
Yeah.
See, I don't
It's
know
all
if I.
about man kisses.
But that's like what's weird because it's like new for me because I don't know that I would kiss my dad on the cheek.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I
wouldn't.
mean?
Right? No,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
It's just not like
cute.
it's not,
I used to love
It-
to see that.
My
I remember one time I grabbed him, I gave him a kiss on the forehead because like he had did something, and even that I was like I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I won't do it again.
yeah, in this culture, in like at least Black American culture, once you get a certain age as a boy, you only kiss your dad when he's on his deathbed
Oh wow.
or
In his casket.
yeah.
Which culture
That's
is
what I
that?
thought. The
Which-
Black American
Afro-American.
culture.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Afro American.
No, Laisha, I'll say this. So I didn't get a chance to grow up with my dad
Mhm.
for circumstances in life.
Yeah.
And so I
Might be a
grew up
good
with my
thing,
mom.
might be a bad thing.
So I grew up with my mom, and her culture, although she's Mexican, they're really cold. They don't tell you they love you.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you know they love you,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Later in life, I got to meet my dad.
Mhm.
And his culture, again, Mexican too, they tell you that they love you.
Mhm.
And so when I first started interacting with them, it was weird to me because I wasn't used to that. But I had to learn because I didn't want them to feel that I didn't care for them. That's how they show affection.
Yeah.
And so I had to adopt those, you know.
Yeah.
So with that
processes.
right there said, it was a learning thing for us,
Yeah.
for the Black community. It has probably been 15 years where rappers have actually been raising us, and Boosie's one of them.
That's true.
He started telling us to tell each other I love you more, instead of killing our brothers and sisters, he started telling us that we need to hug each other more.
Yeah.
And so even the older community started learning from him, meaning the people that was, dang, they're probably like almost 60 now. The men that are almost 60 now, they are the men that instead of being like, hey, you either know I got love and respect for you or you don't, to they say it a lot more now. They be like, I love you, I love you, I love you.
That's
So
good.
my uncle say it all
That's
the
beautiful.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
my cousin say it all the
Progress.
time.
Yeah.
But we not on that kissing mode yet.
Yeah, see, I'm thankful enough. I'm thankful enough. Like with my dad growing up, he always vocalized his love. Like I love you. He always gave hugs. Like we weren't just like kissy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I am thankful that he gave me that because it allows me, I feel, to be more loving with my son. You know what I mean? Because I know the love from a father like that. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, which I do have friends who their dads are like, he's like, he don't love me. You know what I mean? Like, and I gotta be like, nah, he love you. You just don't know how to show it. You know, explain it to him that not all, especially men of that time, they weren't even present in the household because a lot of them were,
Locked up there.
So you go through the 70s and 80s. You know, you got the crack epidemic. You got all of that, which hit the community, which they weren't there. You have social or political motivations moving men out of the home as well, right? So the men that were there were usually the breadwinners, and they were out of the home all day long, anyways. So you just had the mom there raising them. So they didn't get a lot of chance to show that affection or to that love to you, you know.
Well, that's what I learned from my mom.
Yeah.
Because she had to be mother and father for me, so she had to play the tough role as well.
Yeah.
And then I met my grandmother. And
She
she
was
was
tougher.
worse.
She-
I know which mama.
I know, in fact, how they are.
Yeah.
And
Even
I had a rough upbringing, all right?
I feel you. I feel you. It seemed like you did. But no, so let's say if someone's gonna be like lovey-dovey kissing on me and stuff like that, it's gonna be my big brother or my little brother, and it's just because they're being annoying and they're tickling me, they're tackling me, and I'm irritated the whole entire time.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, leave
Like,
me
get
alone.
away from me.
No, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it's like, stop. Ugh. And you're supposed to be like a tough person,
Affection.
but you got your big brother or your little brother just doing that. And it's not so much the little brother does that; it's more like the big brother, cause
Yeah.
I feel like
'Cause he
big
can
brother
he
or
can get you in that
sister-
headlock.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, big sisters do it too. You know what I'm saying?
But
they
you're
do
more
stuff.
acceptable
Mhm.
they doing it to you than your
Yeah,
brothers.
yeah, it's more annoying when your brother's doing it because it's like, man, can you stop doing that? And then if you ever seen the Boondocks, then like the word then was gay. Everything was gay. You better stop being gay, you know. And it was just like, gray. Wait, he said blue shoes?
He said new
Oh, new shoes. But yeah, no. So it's like
He said, "I
it was
don't
fun
need
to be
it."
vulnerable around big brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they had your back, and you knew they had your back. So
What about you, ladies? Did you guys grow up in households of affection?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
That's good.
A lot.
Well, you said your culture is very affectionate.
Yeah, so actually, I do have beautiful memories, such as like waking up in a Saturday morning and just jumping my parents' bed, and then they'd start to tickle all of us, and then like the chaos, but beautiful chaos, like ha ha ha,
Mhm.
everybody's so happy. So yeah, I had that.
What part of Brazil are you from?
São Paulo,
São Paulo.
São Paulo, that's where my
Sao
friends.
Paulo.
São Paulo,
deported
São
to.
Paulo,
And we thought he was just black, and he didn't know
São
how to
Paulo,
speak Brazil. It's
Paulista.
or Portuguese.
So yeah, but like, okay, I was thinking about something because you guys were talking about the queen treatment. The
I pointed out
I
all
was
of one,
just
yes.
observing. I was like, okay, why he's quoting? Because we are queens anyway. That's
So and that's a
Wait,
great.
hold on.
Wait,
I feel like you gotta act like
I
keep
was I was raised in that. My parents, they raised me like that. Like, you are the queen.
Yeah.
You are the queen. You
feel
are
it.
going to be a queen. So I always had. So there are good things about that mentality, and there's toxicities, of course.
Okay.
There are
Yes.
bad and good in that
Right.
way of how I was raised, because it was normal back in São Paulo. It was already in the 90s. So São Paulo in the 90s is all about that. Oh, you girls need to study to figure it out your life, because before it was not like that. I am the first generation actually that thinks like this,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to, because I know that this is something that I'm breaking for my family, and you know when you have this responsibility.
Yep.
So here's
Real quick, to what you said real
hold
quick.
Hold on.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I know that was directed to me.
Okay.
'Cause
No,
I'm the
it
one
was
who
not.
makes the
It
comment.
was not. I just like to
No,
look
no, no,
everybody.
but it's not,
The
no,
truth
That's
is-
good. Call me out. Here's the thing. It's not. A lot of terms this day
Uh-huh.
they get misused, such
Okay.
as words like boundaries. They don't use it correctly. Words such as trauma. They don't use it correctly. Or when they say narcissist, or when they say queen. It is beautiful for a woman to feel empowered and to feel like they should be taken care of. I can tell you as a man, I would love nothing more than treat my woman as a queen.
I feel like you
Here's
gotta
the-
act like a queen though to be a queen.
So
You can't-
that's
yeah.
that's the challenge. When do we get to that point? Because
Y'all are
there is
queens
a
though.
difference.
Y'all are queens.
There is a difference between treating my woman like a queen, but then she abusing that. And that
Facts.
happens a lot.
Yeah, that's
That
another
women
part.
abuse that treatment. Because if I'm treating you as a queen, what does that mean? That means
Facts.
that you're gonna treat me as a king.
Facts.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets lost. And that's why I do the air quotations, because it's like, that's a word that
Thank
I
you
feel
for
that people
sharing.
don't
You wanted to say
understand.
something.
So what?
Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
no, I
'Cause
love-
I
I
was,
love
I was
that-
really wondering.
No. And
No, I love that Juan said that because how can you present yourself as a queen if the person you pick to be your partner, be your leader or your follower or whatever is not the king of your life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you picking princes
Yeah, that's a
and
challenge.
jokers, then what does that mean for you? You know what I'm saying? If you're picking the joker over a king, then what does that say about who you are? Because
Yep.
ain't no queen about to go for the jester over the person that can lead the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? The person that
Yep.
makes sure everybody wants to go out and fight. So
Definitely.
Yeah,
Well,
I
and sometimes
agree.
too- sometimes what happens too, they say, treat like a queen or what have you, but it only means you just buy me. You just purchase everything for me. You do whatever I want, and that's not a queen. That's just dictatorship. That's
Wow, revelations here. Okay, keep talking more, please. Okay.
He's like the communist.
You guys understand that?
Yeah,
What?
you had that look
You got
on your
something to
face
say?
like you had something to say.
Yeah, I saw you
No.
squinting like.
I don't. I disassociate.
She's like, she's like, I'm trying to be a dictator out here.
she's really thinking. She's like, you know what?
You know what?
But
I'm
you
making
know
a
what?
plan.
Am I picking the joker, the jester? No. I'm just like-
But listen,
Sometimes it's even better just to let you know.
What, the
But-
jester?
No, the Joker.
Because he make you laugh.
Sometimes.
He make you
Not
laugh.
just that, but
But
anyway.
I'll say this. There are men who want to be treated like that, where the woman tells them exactly what to do. And,
Well,
and that's okay. Like,
Yeah, I guess it
the
does
energies
down
come
to-
together.
It does come
And
down
I'm
to
okay with
preference.
a woman telling me what to. What was you gonna say?
I
feel
love
like it does
that.
come down to
What?
preference, because, like you said, some men want to be submissive to a woman. Some men want to be, treated equally. Some men want to be treated like kings. So it does come down to preferences within the person that you're with. For sure.
And there's so many ways to treat a king and a queen.
Facts.
Yeah.
So many ways.
So when it's all said and done,
that's why I wanted to clarify that, because
and what I was gonna
Thank
say
you.
is when it's all said and done, like if I choose a queen, I know that if in my absence, she can rule the kingdom.
right.
Okay.
So I was always taught to be a boss.
Fair.
I can take care of everything in the house and then some. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to me picking my partner, the person that's gonna rule with me, she's gonna be able to hold it down all day, every day. Also, because I am one person, my voice can and my thoughts can get cloudy.
Right.
So she's also being a partner. If she says, "Babe, you're doing it wrong," I'ma be like, you know what? I picked her for a reason. So if she's saying I'm doing it wrong,
Show me.
sometimes sometimes I'm gonna have to be like, you know
Tell
what?
me, yeah.
I'm
Tell
shut my
me
mouth. But
why.
being a boss also, I might be stubborn. You know what I'm saying? I might be stubborn sometimes because a boss mentality is, hey, I never do it wrong.
It's the
You know what I
ego.
mean?
Yeah.
It's
that
the
ego,
ego,
that
yeah.
stubbornness.
It's like, yeah, it's the ego, but you need to be like more like a leader, you know?
Just take some
Right.
mushrooms and y'all can
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
really
and
find each
sometimes a
other.
leader has to
A
follow.
leader has to-
Leader
yes,
has to step down and
exactly.
be like, you know what, somebody
Exactly.
else might know a little bit more than me, and
Yeah.
that's when you have your generals. And
Of
my
course.
queen's gonna not only be a queen, but she's gonna be a general. You know what I mean? She's gonna know how to lead just as
Yeah.
well. You know, when we playing chess, the queen's gonna protect me, but if I go down, we all fall.
Oh my
You said I can lose my queen, but if I die, we all dead.
But you know what?
Game over.
All going to the ground.
That's mine.
This is why I like some of the teachings that like Christianity will teach. Like when they talk about Adam and Eve, you know, Eve was taken by the rib.
Wow, we are there.
Is to be right next to you, right?
Yeah.
Because if God wanted you to be her boss, then she would have grabbed a bone from your feet.
Mm-hmm.
If God wanted her to be your boss, then she would have taken a bone from your brain.
I like you say God's
your
a
head.
woman. I like how you say that.
But he took it from the rib so they can be by your side, right? Together. And so I like that. Again, going back to the 50-50 that we don't like, we both have to put 100%.
Yep.
And sometimes my 100% is going to be 80 and hers is going to be 20.
And also me knowing
And that still
anatomy.
equals 50-50.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Dexter.
Any final thoughts?
Are we down to
This
it?
guy.
What time is it already?
Oh yeah, we're almost. We're
Dang, we've been
definitely
flying through,
over.
huh?
Hey, so do y'all have any final thoughts? Because I know we can finish it up next week and we can talk about this type of stuff all day. I know it's also getting cold because the heater turned off, and yeah. Anyway, so any
Wait,
thoughts and
before we
opinions?
get to the final thoughts, can you tell the people where they can find us?
Oh yeah, so you can find us on www. On YouTube, it's Mind of Nobodies. On TikTok, it's Mind of Nobodies. On Facebook, it's Mind of Nobodies. On Instagram,
Let me guess. Mine's a nobody.
I hope y'all catching on, because on all these sites, just type in Mind of Nobodies, and maybe not everything's gonna come up, and maybe not the site's gonna come up, but something's gonna come up, and it's gonna direct you straight to us. So, if nobody has any further questions,
Ladies, anything? Priscilla,
Any-
thank you for coming, but do you have
Thank you.
anything?
questions, comments, or concerns?
No, because I believe that if I bring some subject, we have to have another.
Hey, let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Priscilla,
We
Let's
live.
go.
Are you
What?
gonna be here next week?
Most likely, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you
Yeah.
want to talk about next week?
Well, we were talking about the traditional way, right? Because there is another way of living life as well.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, 100%.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
yeah.
I feel like we live in that life already. Cause
There's other ways.
Because we
Yeah.
speak of traditional as it's not happening, you know?
Because if we
So,
were
like, we're
very
living in that
traditional
that
in certain way, we
non-traditional
already-
life right
All
now.
right.
We will
All right.
be
So
living
next week's
Ooh.
episode, non-traditional
Ways
relationship.
of living.
Well, not just relationships, but
Wait. Okay.
there's
way of
many
life?
ways of living life.
Okay.
I love
There you
it.
go.
I love it.
All right, so we're out. You're here with Nelijah.
Devony.
Fabi.
Priscilla.
Dexter,
Sorry, Dexter, your camera's not.
hey, it's all good. We
Oh,
still
there
in
you
here.
go.
We in here.
And then we got wands on the ones and twos, you know what I'm saying? We still having technical difficulties, but it's okay because
Difficulties.
we ain't rich yet.
So y'all gotta like, follow, and subscribe a little bit more.
Later this year. This year is happening,
year.
baby.
Facts, this year we're gonna be on it. How much time did we go over? I just wanna know. Just one. I wanna feel.